Hello, everybody. Welcome to the second Ordo Survey Preparing for Combat broadcast. I want to thank everybody that's joining us tonight. I think that we are going to be about 80% better at doing the camera work. So the agenda for tonight is to do introductions of the people who are online. Then once we've completed introductions, we'll go over some of the basic things that we did last year to prepare ahead of time. We'll talk about some of the things that are unique to BICO that we want to stress for everybody to help feel prepared for the event. And we want to make sure that we de-stress the things that people typically take into a LARP, since this is kind of an original experience. That's weird.
What are you
Can you hear my voice twice?
No. What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Did you guys not hear my voice twice?
No.
Nope. No, there's
Okay.
no reason.
I literally heard myself reading back to me.
Fine.
That was really weird. Okay, I'm just going to chalk that up to glitches.
So let's start with introductions.
Okay, I can hear myself twice, so it's really weird. Hold on a second.
How close are you to Adria?
Not even mildly. Okay, I turned off the second window that maybe something is trying to, like, that there's another window open watching this. Probably the YouTube broadcast is going live, so now I look ridiculous. Okay, thank you, everybody. I have now fixed that problem. And let's do introductions, and we will start with Claire and Tom.
My name's Tom. I play Nathaniel in game. The lovely lady sitting behind me is Claire, and she plays Akiria. Me, I'm usually sword and board, but I'm going to branch out to other things as well. I have a set of full plate armor that I will be wearing, so I will be definitely heavily armored.
I do. If I might be healing this game, it just kind of depends on what's going on with Bigleen. They're changing up the rules some of it, so we're just kind of hanging tight to see where it'll be with that. But I play the healer when I can, and then I also play an archer, skirmisher, kind of fill in wherever. I mean, I'll just pick up whatever weapon I can and just do whatever. So it's kind of fun. I just kind of go with whatever.
All right.
Fantastic. Next. Pedrick.
Hi, I'm Patrick O'Loughlin. I'll be first year for BICO, and I'll be playing Urs Bergvalk. And I don't know what else to say, so there we go.
Fair enough. I can't remember your first name. Yes.
Honestly, you're fine just calling me Coffin. I mean, that's my last name, and I've been called it since middle school, so...
Alright, do your intro again, even though it's second night going.
That's fine. I am Roderick von Leonberg. I'm a mercenary sergeant. I've never LARPed before, and this is my first major event as well. So, yeah, I'm really excited.
Culture shock.
Yeah.
I was like, we're going to do this thing. We're going all the way.
Alright, onto the beard. Brian?
My name is Brian. My in-game name is Ulfgar Helmjolfsson. And I am the General of the Order of Survey, one of the 5 council members. And yeah, I've been LARPing for 23 years now, almost 24. So I've got a lot of combat experience. With Biko, this will be my 3rd year. And Biko is a different beast, but there are still points of reference from what I have learned from combat of other games and that you can bring into this game. So, and I'll be kind of bringing in some of my own observations, opinions, and general encouragements.
Fantastic. Thank you, Brian. Always appreciate it, General.
Cool.
Mike and Brittany?
I'm going to introduce Brittany. I got Brittany here. She's going to be sitting in the background. We got sharing one mic here. She'll be playing Takara Krolis, and I'll be playing her cousin Killian Krolis. We are pretty veteran LARPers, but mostly like weekend long. Try to get as much immersion in there. Lots of combat between the two of us, and we're looking forward to this. Very much so.
Excellent, excellent. On to another mic.
Okay, new to this. Mike Golden. My character name is Elfengrande Golding. Set up as a Dunedain Ranger. I'm new, so I will be a pawn. Or a fawn. I will be the pawn fawn.
To quote Ant-Man, yep, that's not the name we came up with, but we're going with it. All right, Adria?
Hi, my name is Adria Kine, and I will be playing Sindr Fells. I am Captain Fells' second in command, mostly kill people with spears, and my goal for this Biko is to help everyone find the fun and kill all of the things.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And now, all right. So to re-summarize from last night's talk, one of the things that we were stressing is that the best parts of Bikoline are, or I should say the guild experience with Bikoline, is that you are the guild. And the accomplishments of the guild on the battlefield are the accomplishments of the guild as a character. So in preparing for this, you know, one of the things that made last year so amazing and why a lot of the guild members came away with such a great cohesive feeling was that everyone, we know that everyone who's coming on the trip who wants to come into the guild and be part of Ordo Servi is going to want to bring their best, you know, skills and find a way to contribute. I can't think of a single day where we'd wake up in the morning and be sharing information with each other saying, how do we contribute today? How do I run off and take a meeting for the guild today? How do I, you know, win a tournament to, you know, do something for the guild? It was that focus then also leads people to their preparations, and you know, the thing that we learned when we got there was some of the things that we focused on. That is to say, the things that we knew before we showed up were different. And you know, one of the jokes we made at the end of the call last night was that the first thing you do, even after a week of Biko, is as soon as the event's over and you've packed everything, you know, I turned to Adrian in the car and I said, I know exactly what I want to do for next year. Like, I have so many ideas right now. And so we thought that by having these meetings to kind of say to you guys who are coming in, well, first of all, I'm so jealous, but also at the same time, we want to share some best practices and some things that we came in that and help you understand the differences before you get there, because then you can spend that additional time putting that additional effort into character, into your experience, into doing more for the guild, And so I'll kick off by saying that the one thing that a couple of the stags and I felt was being lost in the stress was that when you, as a LARPer, prepare to come to an event, the one thing that you know is the things that you know. You may have fought in your previous game and you have some good skills with fighting in one form, and so you say, well, I'm best at fighting with sword and shield, so I'm definitely going to come and I'm going to fight sword and shield, and I'll let the other people who know how to do the other skills fill in those roles. So the one thing we wanted to tell people to come prepared to BICO for is come prepared to learn a new skill. The max length and max size weapons are larger than, and I don't know all the games. I know Brian actually has an extended list, but there are very few games where you can have 9-foot spears. There are very few games where you can have 7-foot pole arms, you know, except for SCA, and that's not a LARP, that's a lifestyle or a disease, depending. It's something. The types of games where you have that length weapon, you have to have a higher standard for armors or be a little bit more careful. So the skills that you need to learn how to do those new roles and that new way of fighting, shoulder to shoulder, not separated, you don't break into wild units and spread out. And there's reasons for this as fighting scales up. And I'm not going to explain that today. These are things that we put some documentation out there to kind of give people the idea of why these things work. And it's the collective documentation from people who both fought in the SCA and at BICO. It's when you get hundreds and hundreds of people on a battlefield, there are ways to handle the complexity of ever-growing and ever-increasing complexity. And the way to do that safely, actually, is to have longer weapons. But what this does is it changes the fundamental fighting style of sword and shield and two-handed weapons and other things. So I'm here to tell you that you can learn to adapt your playstyle. You can learn, you know, say you've ever used a two-handed weapon in a LARP that has only 65 inches. We can teach you how to adapt to something that's 84 inches. I'm back. 84 inches of polearm, and that's not even the longest weapon. All of these skills and I'll use the example we used last night. Adria had never fought in a mass melee game before. None of us had ever used spears, any of the people who came into the game except me and SCA, and maybe Brian. But Adria, how long did it take you to learn how to use a spear?
I would say that I was comfortable with it by the end of the first battle that I was in. So definitely by the end of the first battle, I was murdering more people in one go than I had ever done with sword and board.
And the nature of these games, and actually one of the nice advantages of my previous experience in the SCA was I actually happened to have met a lot of very nice people who were looking at the mass melee game, not just the SCA game, because it's completely different, but the mass melee game, where you have hundreds of people on the battlefield at once. And they found that if you train people competently to the rules ahead of time, even with just simple lessons, that some amount of new instruction and new skills could actually make just a moderately trained group very deadly compared to people operating with the assumptions of the smaller base games.